Welcome to the Northwest Football FC first video for this new revamp. So a bunch of news from the NFL MLS today, especially the NFL that issued a lot of announced a lot of changes that involve a bunch of money and business stuff. So let's get into it. So as they announced prior that the floor of the 2020 salary cap will be 180 million, they have now set the cap at 182.5 million, down 8% from previous year. The first decrease since 1994. Teams must be in compliance with the cap by next Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern when the new league year begins. So with all the rollovers and additional cap, we have about 190 million in total, which means we have 183 million, and that leaves us with about 22.3 million in cap space so far, including the cut of Carlos Dunlap, which I will talk about on Friday. So a decent big cap space, but expect to see in the NFL a ton of cuts, as a bunch of teams are still over the cap. Next, NFL also announced the 2020 NFL Draft compensatory picks, which the NFL gives teams picks from at the end of the 3rd through 6th rounds based on the free agents that were cut or traded from the team. The Seahawks don't have any picks, but it looks like the Saints have the most picks, or the most valued picks, having 2/3 and a 6th rounds after a bunch of cuts. Next, NFL releases the set values for 5th-year options on 2018 first round. A lot of business stuff being announced today, as it's 1 week before the new league year and before officially the Rams and the Lions trade their quarterbacks and any other trades that I can't remember. But if they do accept the 5th-year option for their first round picks, it will depend on what on certain criteria, including the number of Pro Bowls and if they played. If they selected to 2 or more Pro Bowls in their first, I think 3 years, then they'll get the 2021 franchise. If they were received the 2021 franchise tag, which would be $25 million for the quarterbacks, which is a little bit expensive for the rookies if they which is why, even though they have value, they might decide, if they need the cap space, to not exercise the 5th-year option. For 2 more Pro Bowls, quarterback 25 million, running back 8 million, wide receiver 15 million. And then selected to 1 Pro Bowl is slightly lower, with 23 million for the quarterback, 7 million for the running back, 14 million for the wide receiver. No Pro Bowl means only an 18 million for a quarterback, 5 million for a running back, and 11 million for a wide receiver. And then players who did not receive any of those criteria only to pay for the quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers 16 million, about 4.5 million, and 10 million respectively. So, release the money, which might be a little expensive for some teams. So expect that in the coming weeks. And also the deadline for the franchise tag is over, and the Seahawks did not decide to tag either Shaquille Griffin or Chris Carson, both set to become free agents next week. Now, finally, in the MLS, they announced the 2021 season home openers, and the Sounders will host Minnesota United the first day of the MLS season on April 16th. Sounders are undefeated, 6 wins and 1 tie against Minnesota United, and 7-5. So barely over 50% in MLS openers. Uh, uh, let's see. How do I say this? A matchup that might be that will be the next match after Sanders scored 3 goals in 20 minutes in that last matchup during the MLS playoffs to make the MLS Cup. So might be some revenge for Minnesota to kick off the MLS season, but I'll talk more on that as we get there. That will be it for this weekly roundup of the Northwest Football FC. I will see you Friday. Peace out.